Hi everybody, I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb. Welcome to the ARTyRV live stream tonight. We're so excited to be here and so glad to have you all here with us.
Yeah, welcome. We just went through a frog drowner of a storm with 50-mile-an-hour winds, and it's gone now and out over the ocean, so that's good.
Yes, thank goodness.
Yeah, it was like, woo, it was crazy.
We hope you all are having a great Monday. Tonight's all about rumors, myths, and how truths and misleading information
About glass.
about glass.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind tonight. But
So if you have any questions, which we won't get started quite yet, but if you do have a question, just put a Q in front of it and put it in the chat.
yeah, put it in the chat and we'll be happy to answer any questions about stained glass.
Barb, last week's viewer showcase was off the chain, I thought.
Oh, yeah,
We
I
had some
thought it was
beautiful
great.
work. And thank you guys for sending in your work, and so that we could share it with the rest of our viewers. It's really, really appreciated. We appreciate it. And remember, if you do want to be involved in Viewer Showcase, you'll just send the photograph and your name, of course, and a little thing about your piece that you sent us, and send it to viewershowcase@gmail.com.
And Mary's excited because she usually
She
goes
is.
for a walk this time of night, and she's patiently waiting for her walk, but we'll see.
Up on your couch, knucklehead.
Get up on the couch now.
There she is. She's saying hi to
So
everybody.
welcome everyone. If you don't know about Ed and I, we are stained glass artists from Conway, South Carolina. We've been in Conway for almost 40 years, and we've had a stained glass business here since 1986. So that's what, 38 years?
Yeah, that's what we do.
And that's what we do.
And we teach classes, and we have done so for about 25 years. We've been teaching classes. And we have one of just a couple of glass blowing studios here in the state of South Carolina. And cool enough for us, we're 11 miles from the ocean.
Yeah, so if you visit Myrtle Beach, we're about half an hour.
About a half hour, yeah, depending on traffic. So.
Yeah, we're open on Wednesdays from 10 to 4, but our studio is private. But Wednesday's a good day to stop by. We're open 10 to 4. Yeah. And we have stained glass supplies. We have a little gallery, and we teach classes, and that's mostly on the weekends.
It was this weekend.
Ed had
a
full
great
class
class
this weekend.
Yeah, we had a great class. We did our soldering and glass cutting intensive weekend, and so on Saturday we cut glass all day long, and then we made a notebook, Barb, Saturday afternoon, and we prepared ourselves for soldering all day on Sunday. That was crazy. We had a lot of fun. We found out a lot about each other, and I want to thank everybody for coming to the class, and I hope that everybody had a good time. So.
Robert said he hasn't been here. He's been under the weather. He's been having chemos, but he's back. I guess you're back on top, Robert. You're here tonight, and we're so glad to have you, and we hope that you're getting well quickly and have a quick recovery.
Thank you for tuning in to the channel tonight. We appreciate that very much. So, gosh, Barb, we got all of our packages will be going out from our giveaways last week. Get that out of the way this week. And they said we had it on Mondays. We're off, so we take the time, and well, of course, Barbara gets everything ready for the live stream. And
spent the morning at the doctor. So
yeah. Final test, and now we'll find out. What's going on with Barb.
So we'll find out pretty soon.
Yeah, I would imagine in the next day or so
I'll
we'll
be
find
running
out.
marathons before you know it.
But she's doing well. We got her blood pressure adjusted, and guess what, guys? Everybody, Ray's in the house tonight, so let's give him a big thumbs up. Ray, thank you for everything that you do, and I want you just to let you know that we appreciate everything.
I wanted to ask people if they would think about what we could name our project coming up. You know, we're redoing the garage, yes, and I need some ideas for some names for the project. You know, like studio project,
Yeah.
garage project, something that we can all remember, because we'll be starting that project in April. And most of that time we'll be organizing, throwing things away, that type of thing.
Right. We'll be videoing some of that.
Yes, we
Not
will.
all the mess, but some of it.
I should really show you that. You would be so disgusted.
You would be like, are they
You would say
hoarders?
they should be on hoarders instead of stained glass live stream.
So I did, last week I had a couple questions about the glass that I use for the cast net, Barb, and I found a big piece of it here at the house, and there's not a name for that pattern. There's a number.
Okay, what
Go
is
figure.
it?
So the
You want
number.
to show it?
Yeah, let me show it. But so this is the iridescent glass that I use for the cast net. And so the part number on this is 0100, and I'm guessing that's because it's got a solid black background. And iridized on the top is going to be a 0032. And I'm pretty sure maybe the 0032 would be the pattern of the iridescent. But anyway, this is what I use for the cast net project, and it really does look like a net. So, and there was some crazy cuts in there, but I want to let y'all know this glass just really cuts superbly, and you'll enjoy cutting it. It's a little intimidating because of what it looks like. You can't see through it, but if you put your pattern on top of that and follow it like you're supposed to, this is a really nice glass to work with. So
Okay.
again, that's a 0032 bullseye.
And it comes in other colors besides black?
It does. It comes in. I have a sheet of that in clear as well.
And any other colors?
Not
Just
that
black
I
and
have.
black.
I don't know. Yeah, but not that I have. I have a clear, and I have another sheet of that black. So
Okay. Robert asks, he's wanting to get into fusing and wants to know what inexpensive kiln would we suggest?
for a starter kiln, Robert, the kiln that we have on our tool page on our website,
Amazon page.
on our Amazon page, is probably the best little starter kiln that there is. And I believe it's even a clamshell kiln, isn't it, Mark?
I think I put both there.
Yeah. So here's the thing about purchasing your kiln, Robert, is that Barb and I have kilns that we've had for 35 years, and we still use them a lot. And there's really nothing wrong with them. The one kiln, our oldest kiln that we have, is a small one, like we show you on our Amazon shopping page. And in 35 years, I've only had to change the elements. That's the only maintenance I've had to do on that kiln.
The little one?
The little one, yeah.
Yeah, it's a cute little kiln.
And it works like a dream. So, but the newer kilns, like the ones that we show on our page, they have, controllers on them, and they're digital controllers, and they're easy to operate, and you can just put your segments in, and next thing you know, you're fusing glass.
Yeah. And keep your eye out on Facebook Marketplace, because you'll find a kiln being sold cheap. People don't know the value of them, and they don't realize that they last forever. So if you see a kiln on Facebook Marketplace, look up and see if you can still find the manual online.
Yeah.
And if you can, it's worth.
And preferably, if you're going to be
if it's in
fusing,
good shape.
yeah, if you're going to be fusing glass, preferably your heating element should be in the top. Not a lot of people use a ceramic kiln where the elements are on the side to do glass fusing, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just definitely it heats the glass much more even when the elements are at the top. So
Okay.
that's just one thing, one thing to look for. And like I said, the kilns that are on our page are the kilns that we recommend.
And so Ray did put that link up to our ARTyRV store, so you'll be able to find that kiln. It's under Kiln and Supplies.
Yeah.
So I believe that's the name.
And
of
if
it.
when you start fusing glass too, Robert, what you want to do is pick a number, pick a glass, either pick a coefficiency of a 90 or a coefficiency of a 96, and only use one or the other, because if you bring both in, now you have to keep it all separated because it won't fit together. So there's a lot of things that you'll be learning and understanding about glass, a lot more than you think you will when you start fusing, that's for sure.
That's for sure. There was a question about thicknesses of copper foil. Robin wants to know, what is the best thickness of copper foil to use on small, medium, and large projects?
Well, the typical width of a foil, the most standard one and the most used one is 7/32 on the width. And right now, it's really hard to find anything but 1.25 mil on your actual thickness, rather than the width of your copper foil. So the thickness, which is 1.25, which is a little less than 10,000ths of an inch. So you want to that right there is a pretty thin copper foil, and but the copper foil is going to be either 1.25 or 1.5 mils, and it'll say 1.25 mil, and it'll also say whether it's 7/32 blackback or 7/32 copperback or 7/32 silverback, because they still make silverback, I would imagine.
Yes. Who was it that asked if Miss Mary fell asleep in that position? Yeah, that's her poor, pitiful me position.
That's the, oh my gosh, they're not going anywhere.
She acts like she's sleeping, but she's actually awake and listening.
And the funny thing about it is, and I laugh at this because she sleeps with her left arm underneath her head, and so do I. It's so weird when I look over at her. And so we're coming up with some good names for our glass studio project, guys.
Yep.
That's great. Thank you for your help. We appreciate that.
Oh, I know what I was trying to look up. I was trying to look up to see what the percentage was on the different answers to the question on our post we did, and my phone went dead.
Well, I can't give you my phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
The question was, what is glass? What kind of matter is glass? So.
What kind of matter
What is
glass?
glass
Matters to me. Let me tell you.
What is it? Is it a frozen liquid?
No.
Is it a liquid? Is it a solid? What is it?
Actually, glass is I don't even know if it's an amorphous solid.
Yes.
An amorphous solid. So an amorphous means that the molecules inside the product don't ever line up. It's kind of like a liquid, because the molecules in liquids don't line up.
Right.
And so glass feels like a solid to us, looks like a solid to us, but it's an amorphous liquid. And so what it does is just that the molecules don't ever line up inside the product, whether, when it's cool. So glass is we all know that we've seen the glass insulators on top of the telephone poles and everything way back when they used to use them for that. And cold glass insulates electricity, okay? Mm-hmm. Molten glass allows electricity to pass through it. And if you, and I know that you have, and I have both been tagged by our furnace, and that electricity went right through that glass into that pipe. So it conducts electricity when it's hot, and it insulates electricity when it's cold.
Did you know glass was the same temperature as lava?
Pretty close, yeah.
It is.
21. We work at 2150
Molten
degrees,
glass,
2125, yes. Yeah. And you know what? It flows like lava too. If you let it drip, you let it flow, it flows like lava.
This is true. I like the name Glass Stars Project. That's a good one too. And we got Conrage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool
So
for
let
garage.
me
Garage.
I'll keep looking at these. Okay.
So you know what I noticed in this weekend's class?
What?
There's a lot of y'all out there that use the Hakko iron, and so 3 of the 4 students in the class this weekend all used the Hakko iron. So I got ours out, And while they were working with getting their iron ready, I was able to take our iron apart and give them a lesson on breaking it down and putting it all back together and cleaning it.
Nice.
So it worked out really well. I'm glad I had one.
Video about that since
I'm glad I had
everybody's using them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I had one. So I didn't have to use a rheostat. Well, I had one student that used a regular 100-watt iron, and we used her rheostat with that, and the Hacko iron, when we were decorative soldering, Barb, we turned the dial down all the way back to 240, because we did some decorative soldering. Celsius, yes, 240 Celsius. And then when we got ready, when we were doing our soldering and learning our soldering techniques and bettering them, we were actually working on the Hacko iron at the 410 Celsius mark, and the ladies and the gentlemen were running really pretty beads at that speed and that temperature. So I found out a little bit about the Hacko iron this weekend by
Still
having
haven't
our
learned how to
students.
say the name though.
No, Hacko.
I don't know how you say it.
Yeah, I like
confused.
Hacko, but Hacko sounds good.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. The blue iron with the dial on the handle.
Yeah. A lot of people like that.
Yeah,
iron.
they do, and it's what I think it's like about $80.
Yeah,
So
it's a reasonable price.
it's a very reasonably priced iron, and because most studio irons, Barb, are around between $40 and $60. So.
Okay, here's a question from Sherry. Do you install the 1/2-inch zinc cane onto your window at the beginning of the project or at the end?
Well, if as long as when you put it on at the end, it's going to be the size that you need it to fit in your opening, then I guess it's okay to put it on at the end. But I think what I do is I work with it. If I was gonna use zinc, I would apply it and build the window with the zinc already around it. Yeah, I think I would do that. But I would,
How else are you going to get it the correct
yeah,
size?
you got to make it the correct size. So
And square.
and you got to make it square. So guess what? Yeah, you gotta. Is this your? This isn't your first time putting zinc around it, but if you're going to make it fit a very specific size, the zinc goes on first before you build your window for sure.
She's looking over here at me to make sure I'm watching her.
Mary?
Yeah, see her? Oh, yeah, there she goes. Okay,
That's her pitiful look.
I know.
She says, "Oh."
Yeah, because you want to make sure it's...
Yeah, what you want to do is make sure that it's where it needs to be. You can't build the window and then add the zinc to it and hope that it's going to be the size that you need it.
And
That's
and
all.
to build it square, you're going to have to set up that square corner.
Right.
to begin with.
You've got to set
and
up
build to it.
your right angle or your left angle, depending on
I
whether
mean,
you're
tell
left or
us
right
if we're
handed.
wrong, because we don't build into zinc, we build into 3/8
Into lead cane.
Lead cane.
But that has to go in first because the window needs to be perfectly square.
And a perfect size.
Yeah, all of the windows that we build have to fit into a very specific size opening. So.
Vision and glass. Okay. All right.
The Vision Garage project. I don't know. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, can you hand me a Kleenex bar, please?
Okay.
My nose is running. Please.
Mm-hmm.
I like that Kleenex box. It's pretty wild. There you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
MB Volker wants to know, what is the best way to cut big pieces of mirror we took off the walls during a remodel into manageable sizes? It's not thin mirror, but thicker than window glass.
Yeah, it's 1/4-inch mirror, I would say, Mary Beth. And you know what? The best thing to do is if you and Frank can lay it up against the edge of the table, and roll it over and lay it flat, scoot it on the table, score it, and then pull it to the edge of the table and pop it. That's going to be the best way to do it. Or if you have a straight edge that you can, after you score it, you lift it up, put the straight edge underneath the mirror and then let the mirror down, and that'll break it as well. But remember, just like cutting any other glass, you only score it one time. It doesn't matter how thick it is. And if you can get it to the edge of the table and pop it, more than likely it'll be fine.
Okay.
That's what I do because I cut a lot of it, and that's how I do it. So.
Robin says call it Barbed glass.
Oh, that's cool. I like that, actually.
Okay, let's see. Another question.
Okay.
But if you put the zinc on, doesn't it raise the glass? Just like the lead?
No, the lead doesn't lift the glass up. There's
Oh, I
one
see.
of many it's one of many reasons why I don't use zinc.
Yeah, and then if it's a copper foil panel.
Yeah, so
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't do that much copper foil, so we don't use zinc at all anyway. But there's nothing wrong with using it. It's just that in what we do, we choose not to use it because of how everything has to be fabricated.
Right.
And once you put that zinc on there, it's done. It's either right or it's wrong, and there's no in between on it.
So I was thinking you were doing a lead panel and putting a zinc on the outside, but it sounded like they were doing a copper foil pattern.
Yeah, so just remember, your glass goes in the zinc 1/8 of an inch, and if you're using 1/2 inch zinc, you got another 3/8 of an inch that you need to worry about. So make sure that you adjust for all that so that your window is exactly the size that it needs to be when it's completed. If you're not building it to fit something, you're just going to hang it in midair. It doesn't matter when you apply the zinc, really.
Right.
And you don't have to, if you're going to do it that way, you don't even have to do any math. All you have to do is build your window, put your zinc around it, and hang it, and you're good. But I surely wouldn't even hang it from the zinc. I'd put it in a frame.
Okay.
But that's depending on what you're doing. There's nothing wrong with using zinc, especially if you're doing like really small panels. But don't hang your big panels from zinc.
There's a lot of people that do, and sometimes you'll be sorry because that zinc doesn't hold up on those heavy panels.
Yeah,
like
on heavy
wood does.
panels.
Okay.
People bring them to us all the time to be repaired, and that's why I'm such a Debbie Downer on zinc. Because I repair a lot of them, and I see how they're hung and and maybe it's hobbyists that are doing it. It doesn't really matter, but the way there is no safe, I think, a safe way to hang zinc. It's just a really thin metal, and gravity. As soon as you drill a hole in it and put a chain in it to hang it, that's not enough to do it. It's just going to tear it, and that's exactly what it'll do. It'll tear it. It doesn't stretch. It tears.
Jim asked, I see more and more Sybil Schnitt cutters. What are the differences between the Sybil Schnitt cutters, 2,000, 4,000, 5,000, and...
About $20. No, the difference in the glass cutter are the angle of the wheel and how they react. I don't have a 5,000 because the 5,000 is just a wide head. That's all it is. It's the same cutter, but it's a different wheel on a wide head. On like I guess it'd be your TC. No, not your 600. Maybe your TC6 head is your wide head. I don't think I have one. Let me show you. Let's see if
TC1 is it that's wide? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But this is the 5,000 head. Throw this camera on over
Sure.
here, Barb, will you please?
I shall.
So this is what the 5,000 head looks like. You see it? This is the 4,000. This isn't a 5,000 cutter. This is I don't even know what this is. Let's see.
It's a free cutter.
This is a Great Wall. It's a free cutter. This is
We got that with our
afterburner handle.
yeah.
But no, here it is. Over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, here it is right here. Okay. So this is the wide. This is the head that's on the 5,000. It is not interchangeable with the 4,000. And remember, guys, the 2,000 the head doesn't move at all. So if you're an experienced glass cutter, someone that is very proficient at what you do, any of these cutters will work. And what I tell people about glass cutters is when you put it in your hand and you cut a couple pieces of glass, if your hand is fatigued from doing that, you're using the wrong glass cutter, guys. You're definitely using the wrong glass cutter. This is a 2000, this is a 4000, and this is what the 5000 head looks like. None of these heads are interchangeable with each other.
Right.
That made Mary sad.
Yeah, she said, darn it.
But this is a nice little cutter. This is the cutter. This right here, this cutter is the one that comes with your afterburner handle. This is the cutter that comes with it. And you know, when we talk about, this is a great way to show you. When we talk about depressing the head is enough pressure to score your glass, that's it right there. When you depress that head, you've got enough stuff behind it to go ahead and score your glass. So it's really again, this was the cutter that came with the afterburner right here. This one came with the afterburner. And remember, so the steep angle is to the back on your glass cutter, whether you're using a silver snit or you're using a Fletcher or any other kind of glass cutter. Just remember, look at that where that angle is, and you'll see where you need to be. But this is the afterburner handle right here. And this is the cutter that comes with it. So when you order
it's a pretty
this,
good deal too.
you get a free cutter with it.
Yeah.
So I mean that's just one way of looking at justifying the whatever it is, $28 or something. It's really worth it. So.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my afterburner handle over here.
Okay, Barb wants to know, do you have any good tips for her as a beginner?
Good tips as a beginner. The main, I think, Barb, the main thing is so that you don't become frustrated with the process is to learn as much as you can about cutting the glass itself. Because when you have achieved glass cutting skills that are over and above what you thought they might be, then you become more relaxed, and you're able to do different things with your glass with more expertise. And when you can cut glass better, you feel better, and because you don't have a bunch of breakage and it's not very frustrating. So I would say my suggestion would be to anybody that's beginning is to learn how to work with the glass. Make sure you have the correct Make sure that you have the correct tools to cut and break the glass correctly, all of your hand tools, and those things are important. And another thing that's important for your tool arsenal, guys, is a square. You really should have a square in your tool arsenal, along with a good glass cutter that doesn't fatigue your hand. And there are many of them out there on the market, y'all. I have a pile of different glass cutters, and just to show you, so these are silver snits. This is the Thomas grip. Check this out. This is a Thomas grip. Here you go, Barb. So these are all the different glass cutters that I have right here just in my little toolbox. This is a Thomas grip. This is for if you have a really small hand. This is a beautiful glass cutter because it also comes with a TC9 head, which is a 140-degree angle, and it is oil fed. You can see that. It's oil fed, and it only takes a drop. So this is your Thomas grip glass cutter, and then you have your 2000, your pistol grip, which is a good glass cutter. Again, this is a nice glass cutter. So most of the pistol grips you're going to see it doesn't have a Toyo cutter head on it, and most of your pistol grips made now are not Toyos, but you can purchase them. But you'll see if it says Toyo on the cutter head, Just like if it says Silbersnit on the cutter head, then it is a Toyo and it is a Silbersnit cutter head. But if it's just a plain Jane cutter head, it's just a off-brand glass cutter head. But they all work, and there's nothing wrong with them. You just have to take care of them. And this is my personal glass cutter. So this weekend, I had the question come to me, well, your glass cutter looks pretty old, but how often have you changed the head? I have not changed this cutter head in 20 years. You don't have to change the cutter heads. And like I explained to the class this weekend, if you use a cutter long enough, it gets dialed into your hand, and it's actually useless to anyone else that wants to use it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So anyway, cutters are fun, yeah.
You good?
And I have so many of them.
Okay. I have a question here for you. Is most glass COE 90 or 96 anymore?
No, not most of it. There is a coefficient 90. Their coefficient 96 is available. And so Wismac is making 90 and 96. Uroboros is 90. Bullseye has the largest variety of what I call just gorgeous colors.
So both.
So both. They're both available. Oceanside makes only 96 glass, and Wismac is making 90 and 96, from what I understand.
Stacy said thank you for a wonderful class this weekend.
Oh, you're welcome. And I hadn't been by the shop, Stacy, to see if your piece was sitting there.
I saw your fused
post.
piece. Oh my God, that's gorgeous.
Oh,
You
the
should
wave,
send that
yeah.
in so we can show it to everyone.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so we had a good class this weekend. It was really a lot of fun, and everybody learned a lot. I even learned something, so that's good.
Les wanted to know, can you change out the electrical cord on a Hakko iron?
Oh, I don't know. You know, they do that in the factory. I guess you burned it, right, Les? 'Cause it happens so easy, buddy. I don't think. I don't know. I didn't have those 3 screws that are right behind the heating element. I didn't have that off the handle, but I have a sneaky feeling that there might be 3 wires going in, but there's 6 wires when you get inside, because it's controlling not only the thermocouple and the rheostat that's in the handle, but it's also bringing the power to the tip. So I'm not sure about that, Les. You know what? For what might happen if you don't wire it right, I would spend the $80 and just get a new iron if that's the problem. But you know, they make at the electrical store, they make sleeves that go over top of cords that have been burnt, so you can put them back together and use. There's a specific clip that you can use that puts them in line with each other.
I hope I have everyone's questions.
Do you?
I think I do. Do you want to do a glass cutting demo for us? And I'll look and see if I've missed any questions.
Sure.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So this is I brought this glass from the shop. I don't. A lot of glasses that I have at the shop that I'm using in projects, I have the manufacturer, but I don't have the part number, because I'm down to where they're so small that I probably have lost the part number. But this is definitely, guys, this is a Uroboros glass. It is red and green, well, actually purple and green and amber. And this is a really pretty glass. You can see this is the front, and then of course this is the back side. And it's modeled. It's absolutely just really, it excites me when I look at these glasses, because they're so unique in their own individual ways. And these glasses, we all know that Uroboros is really a beautiful glass for making, doing reproduction, doing lamp work. And they're the go-to people if you're
repairing or restoring a lamp, and they're the ones that are probably going to have as close of a match as what you need. But so I've got out my my silver snit running pliers, okay, and you know what? I shared this, and I didn't bring the paper home, but I shared it with the class this weekend. So someone sent me a photograph of, these are the silver snits that we had, and got these from Bowl out of Charlotte, and the new ones, the handle is about that much longer, and it's more curved, and this right here is not recessed, it's different. That nut that holds the two pair of pliers together is not recessed on one side. It's kind of different. So the pliers look a little bit different. It's like they changed the die a little bit on it, and which I guess there's really nothing wrong with it, because when you're using these pliers, guys, you don't want to hold and try and run with holding your hand right there. You want to bring your hand back here. And one thing that I saw this weekend, that it's really difficult to start a run slightly. That's how you feel, just how Mary said. You feel that way.
She's pitiful.
She's pitiful. But when you start a run slightly so that you can chase that run, okay, and bring it back the other way, you have to just be very, very gentle with it. And so we're going to cut a small pattern out of this glass, and we're going to try and run it back the other way. So you can hear this. If I go over top of this really fast, we're probably going to have lots of skips. So I'm going to take my time, and you can hear the. So when you go into those little potholes there, don't pick your glass cutter up, don't stop, just keep moving right along. Now let's see if we can just start this run without breaking it all the way through. There's not a problem breaking it all the way through, but if you'll learn to, just like that, if you'll learn to start that run like that, instead of trying to take that curve out with the running pliers and breaking your glass, if you'll learn to just start that run, and we heard it pop, and then you come in and drop in just behind the run, and like my shirt says, we will chase that run. My run is right here. I'm just barely holding on to the glass. I'm going to pull down, and I have my index finger underneath of it, this piece of glass is close, right against the pliers, and I'm pulling down. And you see that? That ran to right there. And now I'm going to go in a little bit further, and I'm just going to pull down and away, just like that. But I started my run, and let's do that one more time, guys. I started my run really slow, and here we go. Just listen for the little pop. Ready? There we go. We just got that little pop, and now that run is right there. So if I want to come back down here, I can. And I can start this from this end, maybe. Maybe not. Ah, there it is. So you can start it from one end, start it from the other. And remember, when you have this much texture, and the other side's even worse, when you're scoring your glass, just remember, guys, don't press down really hard, because you don't need to. Just depress your head and start that run ever so slightly. Drop in behind it with your grousers and pull down and away, just like that. This glass fooled me, because I was thinking that it was going to be pretty ugly. But let's see, this is the problem that we had in class the other day, everyone was trying to do too steep of a curve, because your running pliers won't do that, guys, okay? They won't do that curve, but what they will do is this. They will allow you to come in and start that run. Listen. It's going to make a liar out of me. There it goes. Okay, so we just got that started, and I'm not sure that you can see. Yeah, you can see that. That run is right there. And now I'm going to drop in behind it, and I'm going to pull down on this a little bit. And we get a little bit more running. And we're going to move right around. And then let's come back here and get this started. There we go. Your running pliers won't do this when you squeeze it. They're not designed to do that. They don't have enough closure in the handle to do that. But if you will take the time to start your run, everyone, and practice this on clear glass that you can see the run, and practice chasing that run around. And once you practice it on the clear glass, making it happen on opalescent glass or mottled glass or textured glass.
Thank you, Low Cost.
Hey, Low Cost, thank you.
That's going to go towards the
Studio renovation.
remodel.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We do appreciate that.
Thank you. There you go. Boom. There we go. We got it going on now. So let's put my silver snoots away.
Luca.
And this glass right here, y'all, I want to share with you because it's very dense. You see it's pink and white, and it's all stacked up right there, just like that. So we may or may not hear the score across the top of this, but let's just see what happens. We heard it somewhat, not like not like a usual piece of glass, but we did hear it. And so now I'm going to take this, and because this is a straight line, I probably won't be able to just pop it and get it started. It'll probably run all the way through, but let's see. Yeah, so it's going to run all the way through. But guys, just because you can't hear your score doesn't mean that it's not happening, because I promise you it is. And we go when you talk about that, you go back to these molecules that don't line up in glass, and when you're scoring the surface, you're separating the molecules on the surface of the glass, and they're moving out of the way so that you can break that glass when you score it. So.
Thank you, Ed. I did want to send a shout out and hello to Karen. She hasn't been feeling well. If you'll notice, she's probably not here tonight, but she was under the weather, but she is feeling better.
She's better?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, Karen, that's like you said, hon, that's really nothing to mess around with. So we're glad you're feeling better.
So,
You know, somebody told me the other day or a couple of weeks ago, they said it's not getting old is the problem. It's all the maintenance that it requires to stay that way.
yeah, Miss Mary is feeling a little bit.
She's feeling fine.
She's okay.
We're
She
going to
only
give
has
her
a
about
few
10 more minutes, and we'll get her a
TREAT.
Yeah, 'cause she spells, so we have to be really careful.
Yes. Okay, we've had so far, and I don't know if I've got everything. We've had several names: Glass Shack, Glass Garage, Barbed, like Barb and Ed, The Glass Act, Vision and Glass, Glass Stars, Conrage.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever we choose the name, we'll get some T-shirts made. How about that?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Miss Mary is entertaining tonight.
Did you realize that two of our
winners last week from the giveaway were in our class this weekend.
Yes, I noticed.
I know, that's crazy, right?
Yes.
That's awesome. So I want to take just a moment and thank you guys for coming, because you guys came from all over, not just the state of South Carolina, but from different parts of the country, and we appreciate it. So as far away as Long Island, New York, up near, and then near Raleigh, the state capital of North Carolina, and we had Columbia, and then we had Charleston, so South Carolina. So we had a full house this weekend, and we had a good time.
Good. Good. All right, if you have a question, just put it in the chat. The dogs are trying to figure out what Miss Mary is saying. She's saying, "Poor pitiful me," I think.
Yeah.
She's singing that song, "Oh, poor pitiful me."
But if y'all notice, she's being very good.
She is being good.
She's being very good. She's been such a trooper, especially all day today. I was, when Barbara and I left the house this morning at 6:30.
Yeah.
To be at the doctor's when her appointment was, and then we got out of there about 10, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's all good, and now we're just waiting on the report, and we'll have some good news, I hope.
Yeah, we have news anyway.
News, yeah.
Better than being in the dark. Okay. Easy to plan a vacation around Myrtle Beach area. Yeah, we have a wonderful area here.
We do. We really do.
Even the little towns all along the beach, and then even inland, we've got a great art town just 45 minutes away.
Oh, yeah.
Lake City, South Carolina.
The largest art show in the Southeast, isn't it?
Well, it's one of the biggest art shows. Yeah. And, right here, the whole town turns into an art town. It's in the end of April, beginning of May.
So it's called Art Fields, if you guys want to look that up on the internet and check it out.
It's a 10-day celebration of the arts.
And what they do is they turn the entire community into a gallery. It's really...
I think it happens before, before Spoleto.
Right.
And it's really a fantastic art show, so...
Yeah. And the prize money, totals up to almost $100,000. That's really something else. So, I always say that when Barbara and I enter, so they take a tremendous amount of entries, but they only keep 400. Is it 400 or 400? They only keep 400 pieces of work to display throughout the community. So I always tell Barbara that, because anytime that Barbara and I have entered our glass work, we have gotten into the show, and so. Though we may not win the big bucks, I consider ourselves winners, because out of maybe 3,000 entries, we are one of the 400. So that's really, I consider that a winner.
Okay, Robin wants to know, would you please demonstrate adjusting the screw on the Lepinette pliers? Do you have a pair here?
I have a pair here, but hon, I don't use that screw for anything.
Right. She needs to know why.
Yeah.
And she needs to know about the screw. Let me put it
well,
on
the screw is basically adjusted so that you don't crush your glass. So if I take this screw and I screw it in like that, okay, my glass pliers will not close any further than that right there. Okay, so I don't ever adjust this screw. I use the screw to remind me that that's the top of the pliers. I'm sure that there's a reason for it, but I don't think, because you're only using 3mm glass, that there's any use in using it. If you were using a little bit thicker glass, then it might apply. But when you're using 3mm glass, so if I have my cutter or my pliers adjusted not enough, then no matter what I do, see, I'm squeezing it and it's not going to break. So as you adjust this, so what that screw does is you're using 3mm glass,
And what that screw does is it takes it down to where it closes on about 2 millimeters, which will still allow you to run it out. But I would prefer I prefer not to use the screw on the lepinette, and because a lot of, more than anything, I think sometimes it'll just mess you up because you'll have it screwed in too far, and you'll be trying to figure out why in the world your glass isn't running. So if you take that screw and take it out so that the jaws are closed, then that's really where you need to be, right there, just like that. Let me see if I can. And I don't believe, yeah, that's just not going to be thick enough there. There we go. So I closed that jaw all the way, and the pliers are closed completely, and I was able to pinch that right off like that without any problem. So this, I would imagine too that the screw in the back of there is to keep you from cracking the edge of the glass back here when you're breaking it. But guys, you don't. These pliers should only be used for running. They shouldn't be used for grousing. Okay, and I have seen people use their running pliers for grousing pliers, and please don't do that, because they're designed for one purpose. If you need braking pliers, then get a pair of braking pliers that look like this. And these pliers will do what you need them to do. These are your running pliers. If you do want to use that screw, I would suggest that you just leave the screw adjusted, unless you're cutting really thick glass. Leave the screw adjusted so that your pliers touch each other when they're closed. That's what I would do. Where's that black glass coming from? Oh, that's the iridescent coming off of that. That's cool.
Okay. The Glass Cave, our happy place.
Oh,
The Pleasure Palace.
That doesn't sound like a
That's
glass
too
studio.
risque. That's what Rita said. It was too risque.
yeah. Watch out now.
Watch out! Watch out! Watch out!
Oh gosh.
That's crazy.
Larry Mary says adjust the screw all the way down and then back off a 1/4 inch. That's a good way to do.
Yeah, and
Then you
again,
could-
it works. It depends on what I would think. It depends on what glass. I don't use it because I don't feel the need to use it. But that's a good idea, Larry. Thank you. So if you unscrew it all the way down, put it all the way down. There you go, and then take it a 1/4 inch. You end up with about a 1/16 of an inch right there, like that.
It doesn't stay like that, though, right? It opens? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
I see
it
what you
opens.
mean. Okay.
It's just how far you let it come down. That's all.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
I kn-
always been a little problem when you first get your running pliers and you're in class, you've never used them before, and I guess the first thing you want to do is mess with
Play
that
with that screw.
and then you can't understand why your glass isn't breaking.
Isn't breaking because you got the screw screwed down too far.
Been there, done that.
Yep. But it's there, and you can use it. But what I do is I use it to remind me that that's the top.
Conway Glass Artique. Artique, that's a good name.
Artique, yeah. Who used to have?
So we'll be thinking about these names, and
We will.
the next couple weeks, we've got plenty of time to think about it. We'll be starting the project in April and getting our budget together, and we'll let you know how it's going.
Yeah, and then we're going to decide on what I think we're going to do.
It shouldn't cost much. We have a
Blue
lot
and
for what we need.
gray. We're going to do blue and gray walls.
Blue
I
and
think.
gray, I guess. Yeah, same.
Yeah, we're going.
Thank you, Michael.
And then we have our. We also have our. We will have.
Thank you, Michael.
We will have 2 demonstration tables in the new studio.
Yeah.
We were talking about that last night, and so we'll have a demonstration table where we can do soldering
Right?
and grinding,
Yeah.
and then we'll have a demo table where we'll be doing our glass cutting.
You know,
Right.
because we can't
Are
solder
you
and
going to have a
grind here.
project table in there?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we need a project table.
Yeah, I think we'll have a
So
project
it'd be nice to
table.
have ongoing projects to be able to talk about the different phases and leaving them there to talk
Yeah, as long as we
about.
cover them up, you know. You just cover them up at night. And,
Yes.
because we found out, and I neglected to tell everybody Saturday night when we got done with class, was to cover our projects up. And so when we came back in Sunday morning, we had to steel wool the project.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It was that damp?
Yeah, it was that humid
about that?
outside. I guess the rain was moving in for that day, you know.
Glass and Sass. Our Glass and Sass project? Oh. Okay.
I don't know.
Thank you guys for donating tonight. You can also donate through Venmo if you choose. And thank you for the super thanks
And thanks for the super chat.
and the super chats. We appreciate it. That's Pain in the Glass. Pane. Yes. The Glass Cottage. I like that.
Oh, I like that too. I like that. Cottage on the Swamp.
Glass Street with the Streeters. That's a good one.
Wow.
I like that. Glass Street. The Glass Street Project.
Yeah, the Glass Street project. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Okay, if you
Hey,
have
let's
a
cut a piece
question,
of purple.
let's cut a piece of purple.
I love this color here, y'all.
This is right here. This is a Wismac glass. It's really pretty, and actually, it's an exceptional glass to cut, and it's an exceptional glass for sky, water, and anything in between that you want to use it for. But what we need to do is we're going to cut this out, and we're going to remember as we're scoring this glass, we're going to remember that we need to be right up against that black line. So when we come off of this, we're going to come off just like that, right down into there. And then we're going to come over here, and we're going to stay right up against that black line. Because remember, we just traced our pattern out to this piece of glass, okay? So let's reach over here, and let's see if we can start this run right here. Let's see if we hear that little pop, okay? Hold on. Here we go. Just like that. And there's our pop, there's our run right there. So now remember that didn't go around there because there's not enough handle to make that run like that. So we're gonna just drop in behind this where it is, put our knuckle here, and we're gonna drop in and just keep pulling down ever so slightly. And we'll start back here. Just like that. Okay. So by grabbing this without my pliers, okay, when I grabbed a hold of this I pulled down and away, and what I did is I created pressure right here, and that pressure ran right to its weakest point, which was straight ahead because of the pressure that I had by pulling down. So if you get those problems, that's exactly what's going on. You're pulling down and you're pulling, and it's going to leave you, you're going to have to just break it. It's going to leave you these little ears right here. These little ears disappear when you pull down like that, and then you take your plier and you hold it right there and you go. like that. Just like that. So your grousing pliers, that's how they work, just like that, guys. Your grousing pliers or your grosing pliers, they work just like that. They work on that bottom jaw so that they're doing the work that you need them to do. You don't need to pull down on them, because when you pull down on them, they're not actually grousing. So we started our run here. We're going to pull down. Now this is probably going to go around that way, but let's see. We're going to chase that run, and maybe it won't because I'm right behind it. There we go. So again, what I was doing is I'm pulling down this way. I'm chasing the run around that curve right there, just like that. And what did that give me? That gave me that point right there, just like that. Look at that point.
Yeah.
That, you just took all the time to fix that window and draw that point in there. So go ahead and take the time to cut it and make it the way it's supposed to be, guys. That's all.
Do you have a number on that?
I don't have a number on this piece of glass. I will see if I can find the sample and get you a number for next week.
And it matches your shirt. Did you realize that?
No, I didn't, but look
Look
at that.
Perfect for irises.
Yes. Oh, gosh. Yeah, here's the
That's
other
good.
part of it. Look at this part of it right here. This is the other part of that sheet. Look at it.
Beautiful.
And look at
Oh,
that.
look at that.
That's gorgeous. Yeah,
You use
irises
the
out
front
the
and the
yeah,
back.
absolutely. Irises all the way around for sure. But it is a very pretty glass, and it's a Wismac. And I'll see if I can get you that number for next week.
That's what Mary Beth was saying. Perfect for irises. Okay. All right.
So you guys are always thinking about what to
Stained glass
use your color
reflection.
for. Yeah. I'm just brushing my mess away.
Oh, what happened? What happened?
I don't know.
There we go. Okay. I don't know what happened.
I
It
have no
disappeared.
idea. It disappeared. I
We
must have
disappeared.
swept it right out of the way.
Okay.
Okay, awesome.
All right.
Yeah, we had a great night. We had oh, thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that. I can explain so much to you guys about cutting when we're here in this studio, but when we get the new studio down in the garage, number one, you guys know, if you've been watching the channel, I'm not a big fan of cutting glass when you're sitting down because it's very cumbersome. I think you're in the way. But I did let our in on a little secret this week, and if you're having trouble scoring your glass, say you're standing up, okay, and you're scoring your glass,
Right.
and you should, and you don't have to be, but you should, if you're cutting a straight line, you should be pulling your glass cutter to you. And if you're not, that's fine, because you're probably already used to pushing it. But if you're cutting patterns, you definitely should be pushing your glass cutter while you're cutting your pattern, because it's very hard to pull your glass cutter and look through your wrist while you're cutting the glass. So just make sure that you're doing those few little things. But when you're standing up and look at yourself while you're cutting glass at your table, you're maybe not leaning against the table, but you're very close to it. And when you score the glass, I'm bringing my hand back to me. When you score the glass, the closer you get to you, the less pressure you put on your cutter. So what I'd like y'all to try at home, and this works, is when you're cutting a straight line, say for a border or whatever, when you get about halfway down that strip of glass, take a half a step backwards while you're scoring, and just take a half a step backwards while you're producing that score, and see if that helps you out, because it really does work, I promise you. Because the closer you get to your body with your glass cutter, you're lifting up and moving out of the way. But if you'll take a half a step back, like that, away from the table, while you're scoring your glass, you'll have much more success.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Robin.
That's very sweet of you.
Appreciate
we appreciate it.
So, Yeah. So that was good. That's just a little secret. And guys, I promise you, it does work.
Do you ever break the glass when using the grouser on the ears?
Sometimes. But what you have to do, okay? So when you're doing that, the reason that you are doing that is that you're just squeezing a little bit too hard. That glass, that little ear already has a score where it should break off. And if you'll just grab that very lightly and pull down with your other hand, not the pliers, pull down with your other hand, those little ears come right off. So.
Is that a 1-year anniversary for Robin? It's got 1 up there. I'm not sure what that is. The 1 is for.
I'm not sure.
Well, congratulations, Robin.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I had one more question. I don't see it, but I do see that Magali said that you can donate any iridized glass to Magali's Iridized Glass Sanctuary.
Girl, you just need to stop by and see us next time you're heading north or south. Just pop in. Let us know you're coming. We'd love to see you.
Okay, do you guys have any more questions? We'd be happy to answer it. Michelle says she sits all the time when she cuts glass. So
Well,
if
that's
you
fine.
have to, that's
Yeah, if you have to, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I can't sit there and cut glass. I have to be above it and looking down on it.
yeah.
And because it's actually, I mean, I don't mind cutting glass sitting here at the table with y'all, but
With a
standing
square-
up would be pretty comfortable.
With a Score One glass cutter, you can.
Yeah.
It makes it easy.
Oh
yes.
yeah, the Score One. No kidding. That's awesome. Yeah, I love that little glass cutter.
Magali said she will stop by.
Okay. Good.
Okay, guys.
That's good.
Do you have any more questions? We'll be happy to answer. Thank you, everyone, for the donations tonight. We're getting closer and closer to that,
To our goal.
and we'll let you know how everything's going. We're really excited about it, to get our living room back and to get a nice big studio where we can move around and offer you guys better live streams.
Well, and offer you much better learning demonstrations during glass chat too. I think
Yeah.
that's going to be really really nice. So, and we're thinking too, because we're going to have so much going on in the new studio. We'll probably be going a lot longer than just 1 hour with you guys. So that'll be fun, and we really do look forward to it. So.
Yeah, we look forward to. Oh, Barbara got her Willie McNeely shirts. Cool. I'm happy for you, Barbara. I'm getting Ed a green one for St. Patty's Day. I thought that'd be cute.
Barbara.
Barb Cadwell.
Oh. Willie McNeely. That's right. Don't Willie McNeely it, everybody. Don't remember.
I'm hoping it'll be here by Monday night. So I thought that'd be good. I might add a little.
Next week is St. Patty's Day. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
Monday night is St. Patty's Day,
Oh,
March
wow.
17th.
Okay.
So we will see you on St. Patty's Day next week.
Yeah, don't forget.
Put your green on.
Put your green on and
Get your green beer or your green tea. I'll be
Or your
drinking
green milk.
tea. I'll be drinking green tea. Yeah, you might have green milk.
yeah, I don't know. Barbara did that to me one year. The leprechaun jumped in my milk.
We'll tell you the story next week.
Yeah, well, that's a good
The
St.
glass
Patty's
hole.
Day. A what?
The glass hole.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Hey,
we'll
I
look at-
resemble that remark now.
Okay. You guys have a good night. Thank you for joining us tonight. We do appreciate it. Have a great week. Check out our updates in our ARTyRV store. I'm putting some things. I'm doing a sheet for all things under $10 that are on sale, and that'll be at the Amazon store this week.
Okay.
So, what else we got going on? New class schedule will come out as soon as we find out when Ed's having hip surgery.
Right.
So we'll have a whole new schedule coming out.
So kind of we'll know when that surgery date is on March the 26th, and then we'll do our schedule accordingly for classes
Yep.
for April. So.
Yep.
So we'll have to probably do a couple of classes in April if we get surgery in May. So.
And then whatever my thing is will be outpatient probably. So So we're all
We
set.
hope it's outpatient.
Yeah, we're all set. We're
Yeah.
moving forward, and we appreciate each and every one of you, and
Thank
thank
you
you
guys.
for being here. And
Thank you for supporting our channel and supporting Barbara and I.
and for the donations. And the
donations.
purchases of the T-shirts are very much appreciated.
Yeah, they are. That's
And,
great.
We will see you guys next week. Thank you so much. We love you all.
For the ARTyRV channel, guys, I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.